Hello and welcome to episode 10 of the Football Commentaries Podcast. We have made it to double figures after an 8-day break from uploading the podcast. Mainly just because I felt like I was overdoing it with the episodes a little and views kind of lowered a bit. So hopefully with a bit of a break they might get a bit more views, but I doubt that. It'll probably stay about 20, so we'll see anyway. Depending on the length, we don't know how long it'll be, but this is going to be a bit of a shorter podcast than usual. They're usually about an hour, but this may just be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that, depending on what conversation we get onto. It could be a little longer than that. This podcast is going to be used more as in like an update on the channel, on football in general, and what's going to be happening over the coming weeks and months, because in the UK, or in England especially, we had a speech from the Prime Minister this afternoon, so we can just discuss. We're not going to discuss politics. We're not here for that. We'll discuss what it means for football. And we're joined by one person today. It is Harvey, back again. The usual attendant on the podcast. So a few headlines that have happened during the week. Bundesliga is back. Delighted is an understatement. Yes, it's behind closed doors, no fans, but at this rate, I don't know about you, Harvey, but I don't care.
Yeah,
if it's behind
football.
Closed doors, as long as there's just something live, then that is fine by me. So risky, to say the least, because if it doesn't go well and cases occur, then that'll give a bit of a red light to other leagues trying to resume. But if it goes well, then that might give the green light for some countries to continue. Yeah. It's just the way we look at it. So we'll be discussing that. It's been 2 months without football. I found out about a minute ago. In about 2 months since leagues were kind of like cancelled and just stopped in general. To be fair, I don't know about you. I've coped quite well without football.
Yeah.
It hasn't actually been that bad. I've missed playing it more than watching it.
Completely.
But I'm not gonna lie, I've not been bothered not being able to watch it because for me it's kind of like a summer break. You know when you haven't got like a World Cup and there's like a 2 month break without football. It felt like that for me. So this, I don't know about you, but have you found it fine without football? Or?
I agree. Yeah, it's obviously been a huge miss, but it's not something where it's like, oh, I can't go another day without it.
Yeah.
It's like I can cope, but playing is, that's a bigger miss than watching it.
Yeah, because it's for me. It's like we've had the like training sessions, and you kind of come out of it. It's like, oh, that was like, wasn't up for it today, or just was, and then now looking at it, I'm like, oh, just if I'd been a bit more up for it that day, then it would have been, and just think, just the little things like, oh, just miss the little things, just just I don't even know, just little kick about even at school or something. That's just those little things that I've missed. I'll go on the Bundesliga after, because I've got a bit of a channel update if you're still listening, which is, if you are, well done. A lot of people you go out after the intro, they go, oh, this might be boring, we'll go. So we'll just go for the Prem quickly. We have this like debate every few episodes, and it's becoming harder to put a finger on what's going to happen. After a week or two of last discussing it, do you think this season can still be finished? And if so, when? Do you think?
I think it could be finished. I think if the gap, like the summer break, is shortened, then I think it can be finished. I think it would be tight.
Yeah.
But I think it's possible.
I think the thing is, as well, we have unlimited time, really, in terms of the fact that the Euros is going to be next year now, and we can finish this season. I don't know what, at late July, and just start the season a little bit later.
Yeah.
Even if that's like mid-September, that's only 2-3 weeks before when it usually starts. And my debate is, and this is kind of harsh on the lower teams, but get rid of the League Cup just for the season. Or just the Premier League clubs or the champion, just to say we're not participating in it this year.
Yeah.
Because that's just little annoying Tuesday, Wednesday night games that big clubs like City, Liverpool, United, all the Premier League don't need.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants to be going to like Oxford on a Wednesday night at 7:45. No one wants that.
Yeah, unless it's the final, no Premier League team looks at that and goes, "Yes, get in League Cup game."
Yeah, in it. It's like no one at that season goes, "You know what? I won't mind a League Cup this year." Literally, like, and it's just showing like City are just dominating that anyway. It's like it's not hard to get far in that cup at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy just to get to the quarters minimum, depending on what team you are. Because like the lower teams in the Prem don't care; they're more interested in survival. The mid-table teams have a go, but usually aren't strong enough to go far enough. And then you got like, the top 6 who just can get there with their B teams.
Yeah.
Because B teams are so strong these days. And then you're left with like the Championship and the League One and the League Two who just aren't good enough in general.
Yeah.
So then you're just left with Premier League semi-finals most of the time.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, can we just get rid of it just for even one season?
Yeah.
So because like I was saying, it's like this season, it was what, Leicester, Aston Villa, City, United.
Yeah.
I don't remember the quarterfinals, but I don't think there was many like Championship teams or lower league teams. I feel like they just need to cut something out because next season won't work. Otherwise, it's like we're struggling to get this season done.
Yeah.
So we don't need any additional things to get on top of that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see with that. It's hard to. I find it really hard to get a conversation with this because we still have no idea.
Yeah.
We're not getting told anything as fans.
Yeah, nothing's been said.
We're not even got like we're going to aim for this at this point, like this date. It's kind of like just because obviously England have been the worst affected country in Europe, no surprise. So for us, we have to wait a lot longer than the German league and like the Spanish league. They're looking to come back because they actually had very strict lockdown rules, which helped them massively. Again, I don't want to go into like politics or the lockdown, or I don't want to because I'm not interested in it. But all I'm saying is they obviously they had strict of not going out at all. Where our country's kind of like have an hour exercise and all and then there's people dotted everywhere. So it's just hard because say if we knew by this date we were going to have it back, we could have a discussion of it's going to come back then. How will it be finished? Where? What are the grounds going to be? Because they're talking about neutral grounds. But at this point, we're literally stuck with nothing. Yeah. We don't even know when teams are going to go back training again. It's like because Boris Johnson said today, with people coming back from foreign countries, they're going to have to do 2 weeks of lockdown, of self-quarantine and all that. And I know City players, and I'm presuming a lot of other Premier League players went back to their home countries or different countries. So then that's going to slow it down by another 2 weeks. Yeah. And then I said we had a limited time, but in terms of wanting to finish this season, with the money they're trying to keep, we're running out of time. That's obviously all the Premier League care about is the money. But I'm saying if they were to kind of put that to a side, we have unlimited time. But obviously with them wanting to resume the next season, we're cutting it close with the time we're giving teams and players. So it's difficult discussing the Premier League at the minute. Still, a month on from probably when we first discussed it. I don't know about you, but do you want just more daylight on what's going to happen, or do you think they can't even give it us at this point? It is impossible to give us that.
To be honest, I think if they were to say, look, we've had these meetings, the clubs haven't agreed on a due date when it's going to come back, we'll keep you posted, we're having another meeting on this day to discuss it. I think even Premier League fans will be happy with that. But the fact that it's literally just, these are the rumours that could be happening, it's just all rumour based.
Yeah, literally, it's just rumours. That's what I'm hearing. Like Project Restart. You know what? I'm not going to be. I don't even know what that is.
No, not
because I'm hearing like 5 teams have like voted against it. We've got 10 teams who want it. We've got 6 teams on the fence, and it's just like at this rate, with the rate of COVID-19, the rate it's going at, and the fact it's starting to decrease, it surely can now, especially with what we were told today from the speech. Some clarity we must get by Monday. I'm presuming. I think they have Monday meetings. I think.
Yeah,
I'm not sure on that. So surely, because I think this is going out Monday early. Surely we're gonna have some daylight because now we know as like a country, like we know when we can go out, where, when certain things are going to open. You know, like schools, like restaurants and all that. And that could easily, join up with the Premier League as well. So it's a tough one. Hopefully by the time we do this podcast next, which will be in like a week or so time, hopefully we get given a bit of a statement or something by the Premier League. That'd be much appreciated.
Hopefully, but I think the only thing that has been confirmed is 5 substitutions next season.
Yes. What do you think about that? Before that, against it, on the fence?
I'm on the fence. I think because there'll be time in the season. I think it's around February where there's international duty, and it's happening this season. I don't know whether that'll get cut, but teams do have 2 weeks break. And some players won't go to their international teams, and if a lower down team is winning against a big team, they've got 5 subs. They will time waste.
Yeah.
So,
cause you see, like City's bench. I always use this as an example. City always have the best bench in the Premier. I don't care what anyone says. It's like when say if City were playing, I don't know, like Norwich, say at home.
Yeah.
At the Etihad, remember. Let's not talk about when we play them away. The bench would be like, I'm presuming it'd be like Sane, like Jesus. Bernardo Silva could be on the bench for, like, Gundogan could be on the bench. Like, God, it depends what he's feeling, to be honest. Guardiola. And the fact that like teams like City would be able to bring on all of them fresh.
Yeah.
I think, because I don't even think fitness will be the issue, to be honest, from this. Because you're not telling me players are going to go back into like their clubs, like, have putting on a bit of weight. No way, because it's not like a summer.
Yeah.
We've just had a break from the league during the league, so they obviously had I've been listening to like the Peter Crouch podcast and all that, and they've been speaking to like footballers. I saw the Robert someone last night, and he was saying, we're having Zoom calls, like doing that gym stuff in their core sessions. It's like the players are going to be fit like they were usually. It'll be more just them getting used to the ball again in the way, the way they play. I don't think fitness is the issue.
No.
To be honest, because if they've all followed, the plan they would have been given by the clubs, and the equipment they'll have at home, I find it hard to believe that they'll be so unfit they need 5 substitutions.
Yeah.
And like they say, injury, but injury only comes from fatigue. Obviously, unless like breaks of like legs, stuff like that. But fatigue comes from, not doing anything. And they would have been doing exercises, gym sessions every day in their house.
Yeah.
So why would we need 5 subs when realistically they shouldn't really, be getting cramp? Or because they'll be doing like however many kilometre runs.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, but do you agree? Do you think the players don't even need 5 subs?
Yeah, looking at it, I don't think it is really that needed, because we're still getting 3 subs at the end of the day. 3 subs is still a thing. It's not like we're getting rid of them completely.
Yeah, good point.
And
It's temporary. Temporary.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not because they're going to try and get the season finished. It's not like they are going to be playing Monday, Thursday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Sunday, like that. They will be having a week break, and with five subs will be. That's like a whole backline change on one midfielder.
And as well, people don't remember, right? There's 9 games left of the season. Say if they play, I don't know, Saturday, Wednesday, for the next 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks. Like, that's not very tough on professional athletes.
Yeah.
With 5 subs, I think it would help get the season up quicker, just to take any risk of injuries. So that's where I kind of agree with it, in terms of it will just take away that factor of, just in case, or ifs. But, like for professional athletes who train like they do, playing Saturday, Wednesdays for 4.5 weeks should not be an issue.
Yeah, no,
for
it
me.
won't be. Yeah, and it's not. It's like in December, you play Boxing Day.
Yeah.
4 days later, then you play New Year's Day. There's 3 games in the space of like a week. Yeah. So, two. Yeah, I think they'd adapt to it after 1 or 2 weeks. They'd be like, yeah, look, this is what happens. I think they'd adapt to it.
And so you could argue as well, Christmas, that period from December till, kind of mid-January, that's tougher than what they're going through now.
Yeah.
Because that December, Christmas time, that's non-stop.
Yeah.
With this football of 4.5, it's not really non-stop in the sense of a game every 2 or 3 days. You have 4-day breaks, 5 subs, the usual, after game, warm down. You have the usual, ice baths and the, everything they'll do after a game.
Yeah.
And just, as long as the issue of no one getting infected with, with the virus, I feel like we can, if they look at it realistically, 9 games left, 2 games a week, for 4.5 weeks, I feel like the season could get done quite easily.
Yeah.
That's a big ask, and I know that's not like it's easier to say than to get it out there and done. But I feel like the 5 subs would help, going back to the main question. But I mean, if you look in the depths of the squads of, like you said, the lower teams and then the top 6 and even top 8 at this point, the depth they'll have compared to the lower teams, they could see as being a bit unfair.
Yeah.
But circumstances like this, this circumstance doesn't happen very often. This probably won't happen again for a very long time. So I feel like if teams get relegated, say, and they feel hard done by, it's kind of like, yeah, but you've got to understand this is such a rare occurrence.
Yeah.
That it's like, I guarantee you as well, any team that goes down in the Prem this season will be back up in the Prem within a season or 2 max.
Yeah.
I think. Because I think this Premier League's quite strong.
Yeah.
In terms of when they go down and playing Championship, I feel like Championship teams aren't as strong. So I only think Leeds and West Brom go up and they would have any kind of chance of staying up compared to any other Championship team. So it's like we always say this as well on this podcast. Teams are always going to be unhappy. There's not going to be a circumstance where everyone's going to be happy, more than likely. So, we just have to see what they say Monday, which should be the 11th of May. And if they come to a decision, then they will. But I feel like the plan we've just kind of come up with could work. I think.
done
Obviously,
in 5 minutes.
yeah,
It would work. It would work.
obviously that depends on, like you say, the spread of it and if it calms down. But
Yeah.
I think, like you said, they've kept themselves in good condition. They've been, they probably would have been kicking a ball about in their back garden anyway, because their back gardens are probably bigger than a lot of people's houses put together.
Yeah.
So, 2 games a week, good rest in between them. I just don't think that should be much of an issue. Really.
Yeah.
Obviously, that, of course, demands on, health care, ambulances and all that being at games.
Yeah.
But say if they get this going in at the end of this month, giving it the season should be done end like August.
Yeah.
Give the teams like a month off or pre-season whatever, and get it going like start of September, where it usually would, or mid-September.
Yeah.
And then the season's what usually done early May. Would have been finished now, wouldn't it? This weekend.
Yeah.
And then it might finish, late May. It'd be compact, but I think that could. It has some, realistic view to it of getting it done.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like what you said. I mean, if the what we've suggested does work, you get it started June. Like you say, done by August. Teams have a break, because this is a big. Obviously, it's not like the summer break, but players will be well rested. They'll still be fit. They'll be ready to go. So we can, if everything's ready, we can nearly get it going as soon as we possibly can. So
it's not like they've let themselves go like they would in the summer. That's what we're trying to say here. We're trying to say, they're still in the season. They can't just, in the summer they might, have a few, how do I put this? Drinks.
Not do a hazard. Yeah.
Basically, kind of let himself go a little bit. And, maybe put on a bit more weight. But now they have to keep themselves fit, because they're still part of the season's still going, in a sense. Like, we've not finished it. Unless they announce it's, they're going to just stop, like, they're going to, like, null and void, say.
Yeah.
Then fine, but at this minute in time, the season's still going, like, it's not finished.
Yeah.
So they've got to keep themselves fit. So, that's our little, what would we say, proposition.
Yeah.
To any Premier League people who are definitely going to be listening to this. Take notes. And we'll have to see. Maybe next week when we record another one, we might have more clarification on what's going on. We might still have absolutely nothing, which wouldn't surprise me. But we'll just have to see. We're going to move on, because again, this is just going to be a shorter podcast. I don't want to talk for too long. We're going to just move on. I've got it on the screen now, so I'm just going to read a little bit out. And this is a bit more of a channel announcement as well. All being well, when things are announced by BT Sport or whoever, Bundesliga should be back, like we've mentioned. That means the whole emphasis of this channel is for commentaries. And they should be back next weekend, hopefully. If the season, BT Sport televised and all that. And then they should be back. So by the 16th of May, and we have more clarification on when games are televised and, what channel, commentary should hopefully be back by then. Obviously a little bit more different. Foreign league, I won't know as many of the lower league players, but, a challenge I am willing to take. I've had to commentate on Shakhtar Donetsk players, so I've already had that challenge of trying to pronounce some of their names. So I've already got a bit of experience with foreign players' names from different leagues, so I'll have to just do a lot of research on them, and I should be fine. So subscribe. Just make sure every weekend, every Bundesliga match day, just check the channel, see if there's a scheduled stream or there's one live. And if you can't watch the game, make sure you listen, and I can give you the best description or picture of the game possible. So that's the little announcement. I'm just going to read what the Bundesliga have actually said and what they plan, and then we can just discuss it a little bit. So he says the Bundesliga will resume behind closed doors on the 16th of May, becoming the first European league to restart following the coronavirus shutdown, which is true. We've had South Korea start again. That was on the BBC. Didn't watch it. But, it was live football. Was it the Belarusian league? They just kept playing for it, I think.
Oh,
if
yeah.
I'm right.
Yeah.
I only know that because Sky tried to put highlights out of the games thinking it would get loads of views because it's football, and then no one watched it. So I thought that's quite funny. Like we were mentioning after, I think it's just before the podcast, that we started recording, Schalke Dortmund, massive German derby. That's one of the first games that are going to be played. And if BT Sport go down the road of, because obviously they'll televise every single game in terms of they would for their highlight show, they would go to every game and record it. So if they were to this would be hard because you need commentators, or if some games you might put on a red button system and just not have commentators. They might just televise every game and just see what people watch.
Yeah.
If not, that derby probably won't be televised to English people, especially. We would get the 5:30 kickoff.
Yeah.
Which is I can't see it in a minute, but it's like Frankfurt, something like Werder Bremen, something like that. So not a very interesting game. So I'd have a look. Next weekend there'll definitely be a commentary. That's all I'm saying. But I just don't know which game at the minute.
Yeah, but the 5:30's Frankfurt against Gladbach.
Nearly. We nearly got it. I don't think I guessed either team. So Bayern play Sunday against Union Berlin on like I said, Sunday. They're 4 points clear, and like the Premier League, they're quite similar. They have 9 guys in that Australia in there, 9 games to play, with the final weekend of the season scheduled on the 27th to the 28th of June, so in about 6 weeks' time. They've said the season would resume under very strict health protocols. Obviously, all games behind closed doors, which me and Harvey said we're not too bothered about. We just want live football.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird how it's changed because before this we were like, no, stop it. Fans should be there. That's what football's about. 2 months later, we're all like, I'll just televise anything, please.
Yeah.
Even without fans, we'll watch it. So it's funny how things have changed. About 300 people, including players, staff, and officials, will be in and around the stadium during match days. The league has been suspended since the 13th of March. Clubs return to training in mid-April with players working in groups. And then the chief executive of the German league said it was crucial to resume play despite empty stands and other restrictions. And anything else? Players, coaching staff, referees will subject to medical and hygiene regulations. Okay, here we go. There was no clarification on the issue of matches being available free to air in Germany. Talks are underway with broadcasters. For us in England, and for me to commentate, is BT Sport. They have the rights to the Bundesliga. I'm presuming, because tomorrow, as we're recording this, is Monday, so I'm presuming we would have a update something Monday or Tuesday. So hopefully that happens. I'll just wax my mic. There were 10 positive results from clubs in top 2 divisions following the first series of coronavirus tests, and 2 in the second series. So that's worrying, but not too. It's not as bad. 2 in the second series of tests. I think that's quite a positive result. As bad as that sounds for the people who've got it.
Yeah, it's an improvement, and I mean it's good enough for the football to go ahead.
Yeah.
So
because you got to think about it. 12. How many teams in the Bundesliga? 18.
18
teams. They'll have about squads of 25.
Yeah.
Times quite a large number.
18, yeah.
And then 2. That's not bad, but
yeah.
Thoughts and all that good to people who have got it, because it can be very deadly. So I don't know, act like that's nothing, but it could have been worse. On Wednesday, during Chancellor and Angela Merkel eased some restrictions, so allowing shops to reopen after fewer than 7,000 deaths with coronavirus. That's another point. Germany have been affected a lot less than what we have in England. That's why the Premier League is so hard to start again, because we've been hit by it differently. So yeah, and there's just a lot of quotes and all that. Monday's game is Werder Bremen by Leverkusen. Bayern play Sunday, and then the usual games on Saturday. Follow the Instagram that I've kind of half set up, but I still use it. So any updates I'll be putting on that. So it's just literally Football Commentaries. It's just this is the YouTube channel name. Put that in, and I should be there. I've got about 30 followers, so just for any updates, follow that. That's why we're posting the commentaries and all that. But like I said, it's hard because we don't know much yet in terms of the televised games. So yeah. And then it says the eyes of the Premier League, La Liga and Serie A will be firmly fixed on these early games, because if Germany can make it work, maybe Europe's or the major leagues have a stronger chance too. That's like we said before. So, that's my little mini announcement. Are you excited that the Bundesliga is back?
Completely. Some good football to potentially watch.
That's another good point as well. It's actually good football.
Yeah.
German league for me, in terms of like enjoyment watching, it's my second. Like other than the Prem, it's my favourite league to watch.
Yeah, there's so many upsets that can happen. Like Dortmund have been beaten a few times by some lower down teams. It is a good league to watch.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get the table up quickly because I know it's quite close.
Yeah.
Right, so from first to fourth, there's a point difference of 6. So the title race is wide open. Europe, lesser competition. Like Leverkusen's on 47 points.
A 10-point gap.
Yeah, and then the other European spot, Schalke, 37. So in terms of Champions League, it's kind of between Dortmund, Munich, Leipzig, Gladbach, and Leverkusen. So that's kind of a bit. But I mean, like the relegation as well, that's kind of set a little bit as well. Like the two teams going to be relegated, Werder Bremen and Paderborn, they look quite, firmly set on a relegation. Dusseldorf seem kind of comfortable in a relegation playoff place that they do in Germany. So it's mainly the league that's up for grabs, not really relegation, which is a good thing for us as football fans, getting a bit of an excitement from it. Just a quick question from the little knowledge you have on this, that we all have. Do you think this will work? This restart of the Bundesliga, or do you think it'll be a little bit of a failure? What you're leaning more towards?
Without being negative, I think 1 or 2 cases of the virus could occur from it. I just think with like 9 different matches being played.
Yeah.
In how many days? Like 2-3 days, I think.
Yeah.
The amount of people that will be meeting could spark something. But like you say, if people are listening to the guidelines, then hopefully it shouldn't occur.
Yeah, I'm more than excited, I won't lie. I can commentate again, hopefully. Again, we just have to listen to BT Sport, what they're going to say. But hopefully we get some football back. Let's see how long we've been recording for. Around 34, 35 minutes. So we'll bring it to a close now, because again, I just wanted this to be just a short one, just more of an update. A proper structured episode will be it'll be out next week. We're going to do the top. We'll do a starting 11 of the best players in the Premier League that are in teams outside of the known top 6. So that includes Leicester players, Sheffield United, Wolves. Basically excludes Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, City, United, Liverpool, and I don't know if I've forgot any other teams that are in the top 6. Tottenham as well. So that should be interesting. We should have a few more guests on for that. There'll be about 4 of us, I think, for that. And before that podcast, hopefully, we'll have had a commentary out of the Bundesliga.
Fingers crossed.
Cross the fingers and toes and everything for that. But that'll be the end of the podcast. thank you, Harvey, for joining.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
It's alright, this little mini kind of update kind of episode. Make sure you subscribe, like, notifications on and everything for the commentaries that should be back at the weekend. If there's a dramatic turn of any kind of announcement in the next few days, I'll do one of these episodes again where it might just be, just 10 or 15 minutes of just like a kind of a channel update. Maybe not even, it may just be on my own, of just basically saying, look, there'll be no commentaries. But again, like we said, we're in a bit of an unknown situation still where we don't know what's going to be said. So we'll just have to keep it, we'll just have to, just keep our ears open and just make sure we listen to everything they say, and hopefully football will be back soon. So like I said, like, subscribe, notifications on, and hopefully I'll see you at the weekend for a Bundesliga commentary.